Joining us now is Okpe, with stories trending around the world. What's your plan for the weekend?
What is it, doctor? What am I doing to you? Leila, I beg you.
I'm sorry. The teleprompter won't allow me. How are you today? Great to see you. TGIF. Jinx.
Well, good morning to you, viewers. We begin what's trending today in Nigeria. Okpe Akinloye, the lawyer to a man that was detained by the Department of State Services for 10 weeks for allegedly using the phone of President Muhammadu Buhari's daughter, announced on Thursday via Twitter that he has been able to secure 10 million naira in damages for his client. In the tweet, the lawyer stated that a federal high court in a state ordered the DSS to pay the sum to his client, Anthony Okpe, who otherwise demanded a compensation of 500 million naira for the violation of his rights. Mr. Okpe was arrested in July 2019 after he purchased an MTN SIM card previously used by Hanan Buhari. In its defense, the DSS claimed that Mr. Okpe was detained for 10 weeks because his offense threatened national security. Nigerians on social media have shared their congratulatory messages. Let's take some. One user, Folarin, wrote, "This is a massive victory. Congratulations, Anthony Okpe, for witnessing this historic judgment. Congratulations to you for securing victory against the oppressive force in the land. Indeed, justice has been served." Another user wrote, "Despite the lean purse of the federal government, we are going to cough out 10 million naira because of the attitude of our security officers. Unfortunately, many defended the abuse of Anthony Okpe without knowing they could be next. Congratulations, Okpe."
No, I mean, it's good news, and to me, as far as I'm concerned, very well in reward. It was absolutely shocking that he was detained for 10 weeks over this, and I'm glad that justice has been served in some way.
Finally, for this
I
one.
hope this puts some closure to
Yes.
it, and I hope that the Department of State Services would respect the ruling of the court.
Yeah.
Of course, they have the option of going on appeal.
Right.
But again, I mean, many Nigerians will be very glad that Anthony Okpe has been, vindicated by the courts. Hanan Buhari, the lady who is the owner of the
SIM card.
former owner of
who used
the SIM card, the same SIM card previously, had said that she was not involved in the matter in any way, and that she didn't report anybody to either the police or the Department of State Services. But oftentimes we have state officials being overzealous. Because their argument is that this was a case of national security violation.
Of all things.
What is the national security involved in an old SIM card being reassigned? Because usually what happens is that if you don't use a particular SIM card anymore, after a while, the telecom company, the GSM company, will declare, they will withdraw the line. And then, of course, they will take it back into the market, and it will end up in somebody else's hand. How many times do we call people and they will say, "No, this is the wrong person"? I say, "Oh, I'm sorry. So friend used to use this particular line." So, but it's good that it's been resolved in this manner.
I mean, 10 weeks, that's complete violation of his rights.
Well, he is lucky. There are persons who are in all kinds of detention centers.
For years.
Who have been there for years. For completely innocent
In fact, for
reasons.
nothing. For nothing at all.
This is great news, really. Well, let's take another story. Nigerians have reacted to the photos circulating on social media from the inauguration event of Rivers State's People's Democratic Party chairman, Desmond Akawo. On Wednesday, the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, shared photos from the event, and it appeared that social distancing rules were breached during the photo op session. This comes just a few days after the governor was heavily criticized for demolishing 2 hotels that allegedly violated his COVID-19 lockdown order. Well, let's take some reactions. One user, Oluseun, wrote, "This is the problem with having kings and emperors. One rule for the followers and none for the monarch. Wike illegally demolished someone's house for flouting an order that he has now flouted. Who will hold him accountable? It ought to be the House of Assembly." Another user wrote, "How on earth did you demolish a hotel in River States for lockdown violation and conducted a party program in the same state within a few days? This is reckless and unthoughtful." Finally, Pretty Gritty wrote, "Sir, With all due respect, you are a hypocrite. How do you hold a whole event in this pandemic with all these dignitaries present? How about you arrest yourself to isolation centers and also get a bulldozer to bring down this building? Hashtag Wike, the hypocrite.
I cannot believe that last picture that we're seeing there on the screen.
Yes.
Like, you know, that has left me speechless. Like, I don't even know what to say. I'm shocked. Oji, what story have you brought this morning?
No, let's look at it this way.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Nigerians have always talked about leadership by example. And one of the major concerns in managing COVID-19 in Nigeria is that many Nigerians have expressed the view that our leaders are not leading by example. They tell us what to do, but they themselves don't do the same things.
Correct.
You see many events, government events, social distancing, physical distancing is not observed. And then also they tell us to wear face masks. We have seen many of our leaders who are also not wearing face masks in public places. or they turn it into chin guard. It's not a chin guard. You know, so
I swear, it's actually
those who lead must lead by example. However, the only thing you can say about this event in Rivers is that there was temperature check before the PDP members went into the hall. Even the governor himself was checked. Could it then be because temperature checks were carried out? They just assume that everybody in the place.
What happened?
You know, so
no,
again,
but the rules have to be followed, Dr. Abasi.
Yes, again, the question is somebody may not have high temperature and be asymptomatic.
Yes.
But the bigger concern in Rivers is that on, I think on Tuesday, the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, lifted the lockdown. His excuse was that he wanted people to go to the markets and stock up.
Correct.
But people now, when they saw that a PDP event, the inauguration of the new executive, had been fixed for Wednesday, so they now say, oh, so he lifted the lockdown just because of PDP.
Yep, correct.
And that easing of the lockdown will continue till Sunday.
Yes.
And PDP Rivers also has an event on Saturday.
Can you see?
So the people of Rivers State are saying this is self-serving.
Of course.
So for partisan reasons, you have eased the lockdown.
You have eased the lockdown.
But in any case, there are two sides to the story.
There are always two sides to the story.
And then there's the truth, isn't there? There's two sides to every story and the truth.
Well, like you said, when you go on his Twitter handle, the pictures that were posted looked like they observed social distance in some of the pictures that were there. But, you know, the fact is he may not have been in the picture that was crowded.
Why didn't he have a Zoom party like the rest of us? I mean, we're all having Zoom parties now. They could have done a Zoom inauguration.
Yes, that's a good idea. He's clearly not in this photo picture. So, you know, people always, you know, flout the rules. So we can't really blame him for, for that particular picture. I'm just saying that the particular picture that is on the screen right there. So, you know, that's the whole story.
Wow.
Should we take our final story? Well, let's head over to Namibia now, where the country's president, Hage Geingob, has banned government officials from buying new cars until 2025. The president announced the ban via Twitter on Thursday, stating that the decision was inspired by the difficult period of COVID-19. He also directed a cap on monthly fuel consumption by public office holders. As a result, a savings of 200 million Namibian dollars will be directed to urgent priority areas.
Very good. Very good.
Every government is saving costs.
Yes.
Even here in Nigeria, President Buhari has directed that the Oronsaye report will need to be quickly implemented. All of that is, you know, to address the austerity in the economy, the recession.
Yeah.
And in Namibia, where if you are given a senior government appointment, you get a Mercedes-Benz as official car. The president says, no, that will not happen for the next 5 years. Fuel allowances and travel allowances have also been slashed by about 69%. Fuel allowances by about 5 or 15%. So it's all part of the austerity measures. Countries need to tighten.
We have to continue. I think this is a perfect example for Nigeria as well. I think that
honestly, I mean,
definitely emulate this.
You have to find ways to cut the cost of governance. That's the first place to start.
Correct.
If we're looking at trying to overcome the economic shocks, the triple economic shocks that we're facing, especially here from the coronavirus pandemic. So hopefully we see other governments following suit with similar initiatives like that. I like the sound, especially if your official car is a Benzo. I mean, come on.
I know, Mercedes,
you know? So, Oji, thank you and have a great weekend ahead.
Have a great weekend, guys.